Hello, my name is Jordan Vandenbroel. I am a third-year computing science student at the University of Alberta, currently enrolled in a CANOSP program working for Review Board. My project is DiffX, a Go module for creating and parsing DiffX files. If you're unfamiliar with DiffX, it's simply a new standard for adding metadata to a unified diff. Now, at the moment, a lot of my code is very simple boilerplate stuff, as I plan to start creating some of the actual functionality in the coming weeks. So for now, I thought I'd show you just a few of the simple things that I have that actually do something. The first of these is errors. I have a lot of different ones, so I figured that my diffx parse error would be a good one to show off. I can create it with a line number and a column number that are both zero-based, along with some message, and then it will be correctly printed out to the terminal and correct the line and column numbers. Next thing I have to show off is a byte order mark struct. If you're unfamiliar with a byte order mark, it's simply a few bytes at the beginning of a file that often has Unicode characters to tell you how it's encoded, since there are a lot of different ways. As you can see, I can use this struct to access different types of encodings, such as UTF-8, and I can call it just as if it were an attribute here and print it out, or I can also query it using a string, and then once again print out each of the bytes. The next functionality I have is the split lines function. Because we're working with files, that means that I'm using something that can act as a buffer for each of the bytes. In this case, we'll often have files that have many new lines. So what I have here is a split lines function, where using this buffer, you can read in everything at once, and then split this buffer into multiple smaller ones based on the new line characters. I'm just stating here that I'm using a new line that's just a \n with no carriage return, and I'm also saying here that I don't want to keep the new line characters. And as you can see, I have this string, hello, my name is Jordan, and I like programming. And now I've split it up and I can access just that first line with no new line character at the end, and the second line with no new line character at the end. And you can tell because I'm using the print line statement. The final thing I have is the strip byte order mark function. Now I have a couple examples of how this works. In the first example, I just added the bytes that would usually be used for UTF-16 encoding to the front of the string. And as you can see, if I try and trim it, that at first it doesn't really know what to do with these bytes, but it will immediately trim them after running the function because that's what I expect with UTF-16. In the second example, I have a string that begins with a Unicode character. When Go has Unicode characters, it will immediately equate them to using UTF-8. So here, even though you can't actually see anything and no difference between these lines, you know that there's a different length. And the reason for this is because it's removing these 3 bytes that you would expect to see with UTF-8. That's all the functionality I had to show off today. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.